Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Losers Lounge back in effect a little bit later than we thought, but we're here. Tony, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, this is a record-setting year for Losers Lounges.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. No doubt about that. Man, a tough game tonight for the Knicks. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. Knicks at some point had an 18-point lead, but they couldn't keep it. Ended up going in overtime. The Knicks win by 148 to 147, a crazy score. Video game type score. You know what I mean? We do what we got to do, man. We do what we got to do to get wins. The Knicks 2-game win streak going into the All-Star break over the new look Atlanta Hawks. New look Atlanta Hawks.
Wokey the Bear. I checked him. I checked it. I said I checked this time.
Yeah. So we didn't get smoked, but the Knickerbockers, said the whole name out, the Knickerbockers still be dog walking Trey, now 7-16. I guess the same 7-16 versus the Knicks.
Yep.
But Trey gets his. You can't front. Trey be doing work against the Knicks.
He earned the villain title. He lived up to it. He owned it and accepted it.
Yeah.
And doesn't disappoint.
Yeah. No. What do you have? 38 and 19? 38 points, 19 assists tonight?
19 assists.
Come on, man. It's crazy. Crazy. He needs to do something with his hair and all that, but he be putting in work.
And I don't know if that's the record, but he definitely just continues to put himself in the opponent's side of the of the Garden record books.
Yeah,
19 assists. I don't know if that's a record, but it's got to be top something. You know what I mean? Top 5.
Yeah. And he's a great villain. I tell you that.
Wait, how many points he had, sir?
38.
Oh, all right. So he passed Clyde because he was sitting at Clyde's numbers for the historic finals game.
Yeah.
36 and 19. So Sim, I mentioned before the game how I thought they were dangerous, considering they were right in the middle of the rebuild direction and the retool direction, and something I didn't take into account yesterday. And now, watching them with these new guys, they gave up Hunter, and they gave up Bogdanovic, but the guys they got back, you know what I mean, and the situations they came from, they were winning situations. They were championship aspiring teams, and these guys were key players. So I don't know if they necessarily, they may have gotten better. They may have, gained some depth, and it's not like guys that they just grabbed some guys from losing situations. You know what I'm saying? So I think Diang, he played well for them. Both those guys actually played well for them tonight. Maybe not so much Trey Mann, but the guys they got from Cleveland, LeVert and Dieng, they played well and had big moments for them tonight. I could see them helping them this year.
Yeah, listen, the Atlanta Hawks, I think, is still, they're not out of it. Right? Right now, they're 9th. They're still in the play-in. They're 26 and 29. They're still in the play-in. This team I think could easily still. Jalen Johnson wasn't there tonight, right? They could still get into that. I could see them getting into the top 6 in the Eastern Conference still. I
Yeah.
think it's possible.
Johnson's done for the year, I believe, though.
Oh, he's done
But
for the year.
I believe so. But
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
but
and that makes a difference.
but even still, like they're not like I wouldn't put them in a direction of a tanking team, right? Regardless of even if they're rebuilding, retooling, it's back like we were a couple years ago when I thought the playoff experience was more important than the higher draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some young guys on the team still, and they got some middle age vets.
Right.
So, how much is a draft pick going to help that team as opposed to the experience they could get with that first round pick they just got? We should say, you know what I mean, and some of the younger guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I guess with Jalen Johnson going down, they probably figured, you know what, let's retool. We'll build around him and Trey. This year, we'll fight for the play-in, but wherever we land, we land. I guess that's how I kind of see it. Edward said Dyson is going to make a Brunson-like leap soon. He could be as good as SGA. Dyson. He's bugging.
On both comments.
Is he going to make a Brunson type leap? I don't think so. I don't see it.
I don't think he could do that with Trey on the team.
That's true. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see how they could do it with. Yeah, there's not enough ball to go around to do it with Trey on the team because Trey needs the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Can he make a leap? Yeah, he can get better and make a leap. I don't think it's going to be a Brunson type leap. If he did, that'd be great for them, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But here's what I'll say. I was high on him from the draft, and he's better sooner than I thought already. You know what I mean? But I was real high on him in the draft. So the fact that he's kind of reached this level so soon, and I wasn't expecting that. Who knows where? Like, to me, his ceiling went up tremendously from even where I thought he would be, and I was super high on him in the draft. So
yeah. Okay.
That's a big leap, though.
Big leap. Well, let's stick with Dyson. Before we go down. Alejandro said, need a Dyson Daniels statue outside the State Farm. I guess he's talking about the way he plays defense on Brunson. He does defend. He's a good defender. He's a really good defender. You know what I mean? Is he able, he's going to take a leap and put the offense and defense together? I mean, he'd be, how good he'd be if he took a Brunson type leap and he's got the defense with him. It'd be crazy.
He does seem to be a little, I don't know if mechanical is the right word, but he lacks fluidity in his offensive game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comparing them as skill level, but similar, like to I'll even say our own guy, similar to OG, where he doesn't have the fluidity in his game offensively. I was gonna throw Kawhi out there, early Kawhi, where he didn't really have that. He was almost robotic in his movements But I mean, we've seen it work in certain players, but I do think there is a cap on his offensive capability. And let the man get you a ring before he get a statue.
Yeah. Right. Right. That's crazy. Can't get mad. Jose said, can't get mad at it. We go on winning streaks, then losing streaks. We're due for a 6-game losing streak.
Dang. Dang, 6?
My man said we're due for a 6-game losing streak.
Do you know what a 6-game losing streak would do to our fan base? Son?
Oh my gosh. From the inside out.
Like, and that's the other thing. 3 was our biggest losing streak, right? Prior to that, we hadn't lost 2 in a row. Like, this team is good, man. This team is in a great spot and really having a great time this year. I'm referring to the Knicks. You know what I mean? And some of the fan base who are so down on Tibbs and the team's capability. He said we due for a 6-game losing
Due for a 6-game losing streak.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
Hey, Sam, hold on. Let me
That's crazy.
throw that up there for you real quick.
Sam, do we still have the Pistons protected pick? Because it looks like it could convey.
And Minnesota has that, right?
Minnesota has it. Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, we got the Washington pick that will not convey.
That joint is not going to convey. Washington Wizards are 9-45. We ain't never doing nothing with that pick. We're going to get a whole bunch of second-round picks with that.
I was going to say, maybe if KD went home, maybe, but look, He can't even get it done in Phoenix, so it still might not convey.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna. We don't have the Pistons pick. Minnesota. I guess Minnesota got it. So we can forget about that one. Alejandro said that's so lame. Coach calls timeout when Brunson is in jail on the ground. You know, Clyde says something about that on the telecast. Right now,
He's not a fan of. He's not a fan of that, right?
Right. He's not a fan of, the players are in action and the coach can call a timeout. He's not a fan of that.
I would say it is a little high schoolish to me. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I could see that being frowned upon on a collegiate or even a professional level.
Yeah.
You're a coach, and you probably look at it differently.
Just thinking like, why not though?
I mean, it just takes away the defensive advantage, in my opinion. It's you know what I mean. It's never going to be a defensive player.
I mean, so like
utilizing that play.
Well, they couldn't call a timeout anyway. The defense can't call a timeout if the offense has the ball.
But that's what I mean. It's only hurting the defensive side. It's only a benefit for the offensive side. I mean, that's my only. It takes, you know what I mean. Like it's hurting defensive effort. Now, granted, every time it may not be, you know what I mean, somebody slipping or a defensive play, defensive causing it. Like somebody could slip and then, you know what I mean. Like that's the opportunity. That's different. But most of the time, it's good defense that is putting you in that position.
Right.
So now it's hurting defense.
Right. So
I understand it is what I'm saying.
Right. So now let's say Brunson is bringing the ball up the floor, and Tom Thibodeau sees something that the defense is doing that he doesn't like. Brunson is just dribbling the ball, right? And maybe Brunson doesn't see it. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
to me, that's a different circumstance. I
Tibbs
agree, though.
calls a timeout, say, hey, they're doing this, let's do that.
Now that's, to me, that's a different circumstance, because like maybe I'm assuming the ball's not being pressured. The guy who has the ball is not under pressure. You know what I mean? Like you're not taking away. I mean, technically, you could argue you're taking away an advantage because you see something and you're gonna adjust to it.
Because if the
But you're not
player
taking
calls the timeout in that situation, it's the same thing. Like if they're hustling for the ball, boom, boom, boom. When the player calls the timeout, it's a loose ball. Well, like Brunson was on the ground and he looked up and called the timeout.
Yeah. I think it's more fair when you call it from the player. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I like at that point, and again, you might get it right, you might get it wrong. He might say, "I called it first, you didn't see." You know what I mean? Like I get all that part, but
shoot, because I mean, with me as a coach, the team will be on the foul line, and I'll tell the ref if they make this next free throw, on a timeout. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even have to say it anymore. They just
at that,
because I made the free throw.
Now I'm not gonna call it lame. You know what I mean? Like I get it's a part of the game and it's legal. But I you know what I mean? I understand why people don't like it, because it only helps the offensive player, like or the team with arguably possession of the ball.
Yeah,
but it worked out for us.
Mel said bad coaching by Quinn. Should have left Zach in the game instead of Niang. I mean, Niang almost won the game for him. So,
and hit big shots to bring y'all back.
Yeah, he almost won the game. I mean, that last three, I thought it was going in.
I ain't gonna lie, I did too.
I seen that joint. I was like, oh my gosh, they about to win this joint on the three. I thought that joint was going in. So, oh no.
See, up 6 with how many 10 seconds left?
Yeah. Right. Thought that joint was going in, man. Look at this guy, Sean. We'll bring that back later. Always got something. Always got something. Josh Smooth said he was wide open. He was. They got the offensive rebound, kicked it out to him. I thought that joint was money. I thought the Knicks lost this game. I thought we wasn't going to be on the losers lounge tonight when that ball was in the air. He ain't in front. I thought we wasn't going to be on the losers lounge tonight.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Justin, another person, said, I think Quinn's coached an outstanding game with plays out of timeouts, out of bounds plays and subs. Okay. All right. So somebody's supporting the coach a little bit.
You got one person mad at the coach, one person
supporting the coach. Sound like the Knicks. Sounds like us. Said we got to win the record. We're third in the Eastern Conference, and we do the same thing. And we're doing the same thing. Last comment for the night. Big Draco said they can't beat us in 7. I won't. I wouldn't put you. Big Draco London, whatever. Don't put your money where your mouth is, because the Knicks will take you guys out in 7. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, because for some reason the matchup is a tough matchup, but.
And I know why you feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not. I understand why you feel that way. Last time you seen us, y'all still riding that high from that year.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Jay Williams said it won't take 7.
It won't take 7. I hope not. If we had to play them, I don't think they're going to get high enough in the standings for us to have to play them, but I hope it wouldn't take 7. Now let me get back to Sean. So Huck Porty playing 2 minutes proves this coach is just old and clueless. How the hell can Huck Porty develop when his minutes is that inconsistent? It's part of your development. Believe it or not. Deuce played inconsistent minutes. Remember that? Look who Deuce is now. Playing consistent minutes. A major part of the basketball team. And he produces. You know.
Listen, I'm not mad at anybody who feels Huck Porty should have played more than 2 minutes. I get it. I ain't mad at him, but when you take it to the point of saying fire the coach and all this extra stuff, you can have your gripes. No coach is gonna do everything the way every person in the fan base likes. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be something, whether it's a substitution pattern, whether it's a guy that they believe in that you don't, whether it's always gonna be something. Trust me, I watch a lot of different fan bases podcasts just to laugh. And they all feel this way. There's always something about their coach they don't like. Oh, they don't play young guys. They don't play,
right.
You know what I mean? He trusts this guy. He's old.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll be arguing about Tibbs for the entire rest of the season, I can guarantee it.
Man, we'll be arguing about Tibbs after the championship, so.
Yeah, right. After the championship, we'll be arguing about Tibbs.
But he can't repeat.
Right. Exactly. He can't repeat. We need a better coach to repeat. Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a long show, so it's a little bit of a shorter Losers Lounge, but we appreciate you for showing up and being here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Enjoy the break. We'll have some shows over the break, but enjoy the break. Brunson's in the 3-point contest, obviously All-Star game, all that stuff. Cat in the All-Star game. So, yeah, have a fun weekend.
And let's get about 18 more Losers Lounge.
Let's do it. No doubt.
That sounds like a nice number.
Sounds good to me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Be peaceful.
Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we losing.